I know quick and easy recipes are a staple at your house, just like they are at ours. Today I've got you 4 more quick and easy recipes that your family is gonna love. Hey friends, my name's Susan and welcome to my home. Today I've got you 4 quick and easy recipes that make it easy to put a meal on the table whenever you don't have a whole lot of time. So let's get our ponytails up and let's get to making some quick and easy recipes. Come on guys, let's get to cooking. And what can you make with these ingredients? Well, I'm going to be making some crack chicken casserole is what's going down right now. I've got the oven preheating on 350. It's going to take very little prep. I've got a rotisserie chicken and I've got pre-cooked bacon to go in this. So it's going to be a mix it up and put it in the dish kind of supper. So let's get going on making this cracked chicken casserole. And I have got everything I need put together, so, or at least ready to go in this. I'm going to put in 2 cups of chicken. The ranch dressing is going, the ranch dressing mix that is going in. I've got 4 tablespoons of butter going in. I've got cream of chicken soup is going in next. Okay. I have got sour cream going in next. Let's see if it's all going to come out or not. Yep, that worked. I have got the hash browns to put in, but I'm going to go ahead and mix this up first because I've added a lot of stuff in here. And I want to try to get this mixed up before I add the hash browns. I think I've got a little more, about 20 ounces. I've got more hash browns than I really need to go in this. But let's put some in and see how much we need to finish it off. Hash browns, 16 ounces is what it calls for. I'm going to put in just about everything, except for just a dab in the bottom, and see how it looks whenever I mix it up. It calls for 16 ounces. And this is the refrigerator hash browns. It's not the frozen in the freezer hash browns, because I heard this works better in the recipe. So we're going to give that a try. And we've just about got it put together, guys. If that don't tell you how easy this recipe really is. The next thing going in is the bacon. I have cut it in little bitty strips to make it easier for us to, get it all cut in here. This was the pre-cooked bacon. You could have used bacon bits. It would probably work just as well. I just got the pre-cooked bacon. I like the flavor of it. It gives it a lot of flavor. And I don't have to worry about cooking the bacon. So it all goes in really quick, really simple, really easy. And look, the bacon's in there. Let's go ahead and get this mixed up. There we go. And the last thing we need to put in there is a little bit of cheese, because bacon makes it better, cheese makes it awesome. So let's get that put in. And I added 2 cups of cheddar cheese, finely shredded, into the mix. And after I've mixed all of this up, we're going to put it in our baking dish. My oven had already preheated at 350 degrees, and it's going to go in for 40 minutes. And this is what it looks like after I got it out of the oven. It looked so good. I couldn't wait to get it on a plate so I could try some of it. And it did not disappoint, guys. As easy as this recipe is, it was so tasty, so easy, and again, an amazing quick and easy recipe. And I'm chopping up some quick onions for our next recipe, the taco bake. I love me a good quick and easy recipe, and this is another great one that is a family favorite. And if you're enjoying the recipe so far, how about giving me a thumbs up? It really does help my channel. And let's get to making some taco bake. I promised Danny I'd make one of his favorites, and I haven't made it in a while. So I'm going to make a taco bake. Real simple, real easy. I just trimmed the onions up, and I've got some hamburger in the pan, and I've got the oven on 350. So let me show you how to put this taco bake or Mexican lasagna together. I've gone ahead and let this cook up just a little bit. I am going to add in a little bit of an onion to saute up in the mix. I'll turn that down and let that cook just a little bit until this turns opaque, and then it'll be time to layer up the taco bake. And the onions are now opaque. I'm going to go ahead and add in the taco seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of water to the mix. What that's going to do is let the taco seasoning get nicely infused with the hamburger meat. Let this go ahead and get going. I'm going to let this cook for just a minute, and then it'll be time to build the taco bake. All right, now this is nice and ready to go in the taco bake. Let's get it built. The first thing I'm going to put in the bottom is a little bit of the rotel. You can put salsa in. I just used rotel. I didn't mean to put that much, but that'll be fine. This is kind of like in a regular lasagna, whenever you put the sauce on the bottom so it don't stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in one of these Burrito Grande flour tortillas. Now the trick with this is I have a container that it's a little bit too big for the container, which means it sticks up on the sides. But this makes the crunchiest, like little taco bits around the side. They are so good. I'm going to put about 1/3 of this into the mix. All right. Let that go like that. I'm going to put a little bit of rotel in and get this all nicely out. Some Ortega taco seasoning, or taco sauce that is going in next. I might need to get another thing of it because I'm about out. And you know I've got some in my stockpile. Anybody who's been watching me long enough knows I got a stockpile of food. Some red. And a little bit of green is going in. I don't do this on every layer just because it'll make it a little bit too spicy. But the first layer is always a good place to go. I'm going to go ahead and add in my Mexican cheese. And get a nice helping of Mexican cheese in here. The cheese is what helps it to adhere together. That way it looks like lasagna. Of course, y'all know, any type of lasagna, this is Mexican lasagna, or taco bake. And that's what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and do this 2 more times, and I'll bring you back. Here's the 3rd layer. I've already done 2. I'm going to go ahead and pour all the juices on the top, because you know, ain't nothing bad with that juice. It's all good. I've got all that put together. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the rotel on top too. And get that all nice and settled. A little bit of taco sauce is going in. I did put a little bit on the middle. I'm going to put a little bit on the top. I don't do the red and green except on one layer. It gets a little too spicy sometimes if you do it on every layer. I'm going to go ahead and add lots of cheese to this. I tell you what, this is some good stuff. I've been doing this for years. My daughter is in her 30s, and she's probably had this since she was not even 10 years old. Because I've been doing this so long. And I need to go ahead and just empty out this cheese and let this go. This is going in the oven at 350 for about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to put it in for 15, see what it looks like, and then we'll see how much longer we need to put it in. And I just got this out of the oven. It's probably been about 20 to 25 minutes. You make it as brown as you like it. But this is nice and crispy. Ooh, and hot. And it is time to cut this up and get it on a plate. A family favorite that's always a winner. If you love tacos, you have got to make this. Your family will absolutely love it. I've got everything ready for a quick stir fry tonight. Chicken cabbage stir fry is what I'm going to do. I kind of think it might be kind of like egg roll in a bowl, but with chicken instead. So I have all the accoutrement here. I've got a little cornstarch, unless I need to do a cornstarch slurry to thicken it up. onion. I've got some shredded carrots down in the bottom of that. My bell pepper and the cabbage, which I'm only supposed to use 2 cups of cabbage. I'm going to cook up some cabbage. I love me some cooked cabbage. So let's get to marinating our chicken first thing. And let's get the chicken marinated. This is actually 2 chicken breasts that I have cut into cubes to make it a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and put a tablespoon of soy sauce on this chicken. And I'm going to let it marinate probably about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to also put some sesame oil in this. Just about a teaspoon of sesame oil into this. Y'all know how good sesame oil is. I mean, this stuff's awesome. Now, it calls for black pepper, salt. I'm just going to marinate this right here because the soy sauce has plenty of salt in it. There we go. Now I'm going to set this aside for about 10 minutes and then we'll get to doing some cooking. Go ahead and get the sauce made. We're going to be using up a tablespoon of soy sauce into this first. And I'm also going to be using some oyster sauce. Tablespoon of oyster sauce into the mix. And I don't use oyster sauce that much, but you know what? It tastes really good. I'm going to add in a little bit of pepper into the mix. I'm also going to add in a little bit of salt into the mix. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that up real quick. I'm going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of cornstarch into that. Let me mix this up a little bit. And I'm also going to add in 2 tablespoons of water into the mix. Now that is ready to go. Let's get some stuff cooking up in the big pan or wok, depends on what you want to do. I've got a tablespoon of butter I'm putting down. This pan is right now on a medium high. I'm going to go ahead and let this melt. Now that the butter's melted, I'm going to go ahead and add in the marinated chicken into the mix. I need to turn that down just a little bit, it's a little bit hot. I'm going to go ahead and cook this up until the chicken becomes nice and done. And then we'll start the next part. Alright, now we've got the chicken pretty much done. I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the pan. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the cabbage because that takes the longest. Like I said, I was only supposed to use 2 cups of cabbage. I'm using a little bit more because whenever this cabbage cooks, it will melt down into not a whole lot. So I think I've got everything in there. I'm going to go ahead and let this saute. I'm going to turn it down to a little bit low, and I'm going to cover this for about 5 minutes until the cabbage starts to wilt and melt a little bit. And then I'll get some more in the pan. Let's go ahead and look at this. I have added a little bit of, about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon and some water to this, just because that's what I do for my egg roll in a bowl that I use the hamburger meat in. And this is chicken, so that can only make it taste even better. I'm going to go ahead and add in some onion into the mix. It calls for a whole onion. This was a quite large onion, so I'm just going to use what I've got right there. I'm going to go ahead and add in the carrots. Julienne carrots, the bell peppers, which won't take long to cook, and 2 cloves of garlic are going in, which is about 2 teaspoons if you're using the minced like I do. So now this is all in here. It just needs to cook just a little bit. Like I said, the bell peppers, you could use green, red, orange. I just used yellow because I've already got orange for the carrots and green for the cabbage, so it's going to look nice and pretty. But I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for just about a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and cover it back up, and then it'll be time to put everything together. Now I've let this cook down just a little bit. It doesn't take long to make this if you've got everything prepped and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and add back in the chicken that was already previously cooked. And I'm also going to add in the sauce mix that we made. And get all the stuff in the bottom. That way, hopefully, it'll get nice and thick, which I don't know. I've got a lot of food in here. So let's go ahead and let this cook up just a little bit. I'm going to turn it down on low and let this simmer and see what we get. And we'll taste it and we see if we need to change anything up flavor-wise before we give it to Mr. Danny. All right, and I've let this cook down a little bit. The bell peppers are just going nice and soft. And it's time to get this in a plate and see how good this really is. Now let's go ahead and get this in the bowl, which is kind of like egg roll in a bowl. Let's just go ahead and get it in here. Get lots of the vegetables in there so Danny can have a lot of options with that. Get some of this wonderful juice going over top of it too. Now you could add all kinds of different things to this, whatever you wanted. I am probably going to add some sweet and sour, or spicy Szechuan is one of my favorite. And of course the sweet chili sauce is also a really good one. I did add some sweet and spicy, and I did add some Szechuan, and it was so good. If you're wanting something quick and healthy, salmon is an easy way to make something that doesn't take a lot of time and very little prep. What I do is I carefully cut the side, because it doesn't come open very easily, just like that. And then I will take the salmon out, and I'll actually rinse it in some cold water to get anything off of it that doesn't need to be on the salmon itself. Now my favorite marinade right now is the Salmon House Seafood Wasabi and Teriyaki. It's very clean, it's all very natural, and it's real simple. All I have to do is get the salmon, I've already washed it real good, and place it into my baking tray, because it's going to go in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes probably. It could go less. It depends on how done you like your salmon. Danny and I like ours pretty well done. And I'm glad, because he is actually eating something baked instead of some fried fish. I'm going to go ahead and get this marinade onto the salmon itself. You can take the skin off if you want. We're going to eat it away from the skin anyway, so it's not going to matter if it comes off or not. Some people say it has a lot more flavor if it doesn't come off the skin. I don't know. It tastes about the same to me. There we go. Lots of good flavor. All the sides are covered. Now that is going to go into the 350 oven. I'm going to check on it in 20 minutes and see. I may check on it in 15 actually, because that is thin. This actually came from a grocery store instead of a seafood specific store. So you get what you pay for, but you know what? You know, for less than $10 and this much salmon, as long as it's good quality, it's going to taste great. So let's go ahead and get this in the oven. And this cooked for about 20 minutes, and I put it with a side salad, trying to get some healthier food in Danny. You know, we need it, and this salmon does not disappoint. You've got to try that marinade. It makes it so delicious. I love a quick and easy recipe. It makes getting supper on the table so much easier. And if you haven't already, press that little button down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to press the bell and the all notification so you don't miss any of the good food and fun. Until next time, see you then.